Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to the online class of SST. In the last session, we had seen that the outbreak of revolution, how the revolution started. So we had seen that in National Assembly, they took a tennis court oath where they took an oath that until and unless they make the Constitution of France, they would not disperse from that place. On the other hand, because of severe winter, there was a very bad harvest, due to which the price of bread rose. It went high, and even the bakers who made bread, they hoarded it. So people were not getting the bread. So all this anger, and also we have seen that in countryside, what peasant did? Peasant, they attacked the nobles, and noble fled away. So finally, what happened? The monarch, he surrendered, and he said that okay, I am ready for an monarchical constitution. So first of all, we have to try to understand what do we mean by constitutional monarchy. Okay, so constitutional monarchy means there will be a constitution and also the monarch. Both will be there. So monarch will not operate, or he will not rule on his own. He will have to follow the constitution. Understood? That is called constitutional monarchy. It is not democracy. Because what monarch is there, after monarch dies, his son will become monarch. So it is not a democracy. Democracy means where we elect the people. So we have not elected the monarch, or the French people have not elected the monarch. So here now in constitutional monarchy, monarch will be there, as well as this monarch will not have all the powers. He will not be the supreme power, or he will not have the absolute power. It will be a constitutional monarchy. So we'll see how this constitutional monarchy worked. Okay, fine. So the National Assembly completed the draft of the constitution in 1791. So they made a draft, that means they made a constitution. Like in India, we got freedom in 1947, but our final draft of constitution was in 1950, which came into effect in 26 January 1950. So similarly, the constitution of France, it came into existence, or they made a constitutional monarchy. It was in 1791 that they drafted a constitution. Its main object was to limit the powers of the monarch. Fine. Now what they did to reduce the power of monarch? These powers, instead of being concentrated in the hands of one person, that is monarch, were now separated. They separated the powers between and assigned different institutions like the legislature. You know what is legislature? Legislature is a law-making body. Okay, we went ahead. Okay. Sorry, I'm very sorry for this. Okay, so legislature means it is a law-making body. Then executive, who executes these laws and policies, and judiciary means the system of courts where the judgments are done. So similarly in France also they separated the powers among legislature, executive and judiciary. All these powers earlier were with whom? With the monarch. Now it is not with the monarch, it has been distributed among three different institutions. Now how was this, the electoral system or political system of France after this constitution? We'll just go through this. And very interesting one. Now here you can see. Okay, now active population, that is about 4 million out of 28 million people were having the right to vote. Try to understand this. Only 4 million people out of 28 million people were having the power to vote. These people will elect whom? They will elect 50,000 men who will be, again these electors, these will be electors. Now these electors will again vote, and they will choose the National Assembly of 745 members. Now king will have the role with National Assembly, and this National Assembly will appoint certain ministers for different works, and this was the political system. But see here, passive citizens, no voting rights. Now who were passive citizens? Who did not have property or who did not pay taxes. We'll see this in our further slides. Women and children and youth below the age of 25 were not able to vote. Fine, this was the political scenario in 1791 when France became a constitutional monarchy. Now who were the active citizens? We'll just go through this. The Constitution 1791 vested the power to make laws in the National Assembly, which was indirectly elected. Now here they are saying that National Assembly was indirectly elected. Why? because in earlier slide we had seen that some people will 4 million people will choose 50,000 electors. They will be electing the National Assembly. So it is indirectly elected. That is, citizens voted for a group of electors. These electors who in turn will choose the assembly. Only men above 25 years of age who paid equal taxes to at least 3 days of a laborer's wage were given the status of active citizens. Now see here, those who were paying taxes less than this were not able to vote. So is this a kind of democracy? No. So we are telling that France became a constitutional monarchy. Women did not have right to vote. Youth below 25 years did not have right to vote. Only men above 25 years of age who paid taxes equal to 3 days of a laborer's wage were active citizens and were able to vote. They will vote electors and electors will form a national assembly. The remaining men and women, all women were classed as passive citizens. So they did not have a right to vote. To qualify as an elector and then as a member of the assembly, a man had to belong to the highest bracket of taxpayers. If he is paying high taxes, then only he can become an elector or a member of National Assembly. So all these things were the game of wealth. Those who had wealth, those who were rich, they were able to become active citizens, electors or members of National Assembly. Fine. The constitution began with a declaration of rights of man and citizen. When they made a constitution, when France was becoming a constitutional monarchy, 1791 they have written a constitution. The first point in the constitution was the declaration of rights of man and citizen. Rights such as to right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law were established. Natural and inalienable rights, that is, they belong to each human being by birth and could not be taken away. That these all rights which are given were natural and inalienable. So they cannot be separated. They are not aliens. So these cannot be separated from the people. These rights they have from the birth and no one can take it away. It was the duty of the state to protect each citizen's natural rights. All these points were drafted in the constitution. Okay, the declaration of man and citizen, you can go through your book. In book it is given. It is not of much importance, but you should know that just have a read, just go through this so you can understand what kind of declaration were made by them. So now the last part, the revolutionary generalist Marat, we call him Jean-Paul Marat. He commented in his newspaper, The Friend of the People, on the constitution drafted by the National Assembly. What he said, the task of representing the people has been given to the rich, because only rich people were paying taxes. They were able to vote. They can become electors. They can become members of National Assembly. The lot of the poor and oppressed will never be improved by peaceful means alone. That means if they are peaceful, they can never. If poor are peaceful, if they protest, they can never come up. They will be always oppressed by the rich people. Here we have absolute proof of how wealth influences the law. Now how here wealth influences the law? Because only people who are wealthy were able to vote, were able to become electors and were able to be a member of National Assembly. So wealth played a major role here. Yet laws will last only as long as the people agree to obey them. So laws will be there. You have made the law, you have made the constitution. It will only be there in the existence till the people will obey it. If people start disobeying, obeying the laws will never be there. So this was again, because now again a revolution started. First French Revolution, the monarch or you can say monarchical system, it came to constitutional monarchy. Now again we will see how it became a democratic, or how people got the rights, or poor people were getting the rights. I hope now you understood this thing, that how constitutional monarchy was formed in 1791 in France and what were its features. Thank you. Have a nice day.